Hello everybody, this is Carol from Friendly Quail saying hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're not a subscriber yet, I hope you will sign up. I've got lots of things coming up. Right now, this is part 6 of the Farm Journal Step by Step. And I'm going to just show you some things that I've done today and then show you a pocket, a belly band, and a belly band that's a pocket. So let's get started. All right. When I was doing the pages in like day 2 or something like that, I showed you I was using a book page. This is from a French vocabulary book for children. Well, on the back, it was a scene from the beach. So what I did is I stitched it onto a piece of cardstock. I had to be careful how I did it so that it would fold up like this. When I stitched it, I actually had to stitch like to here and then kind of tip it a little bit and stitch the rest of the way. So I did like this and so it doesn't lie completely flat, but otherwise this wasn't even. So I kind of glued it a little bit like that and then I stitched it and it fits into the book then like this into the signature. Again, I haven't evened these out yet. I'll do that another day. Another thing I've already done is I worked with some strips. So I have leftover strips like this that I cut off from the pages that I use, the cardstock pages. So I used some of that and I stitched it together. It'd be like I'd overlap this about 1/2 of an inch, glue it, and then I stitch with a fancy stitch on it. So I'll show you what I mean. Like this one, these were originally the 12 inches long. I stitched fancy stitching over where I overlapped, and you can see that it's overlapped because the stitching is not on this edge, or it's in the middle between the two. And this is part I cut off that is now going to be a tuck on this page. And what I'm going to do with this one is just add, I've already inked it. I'm just going to add some glue and glue this onto the middle of this piece. I kind of like the way that looked. Just right over the stitching and everything, but I like the way that comes out. And it's going to go on this page. And this will be a tuck. It'll be glued top and side. I'm not going to put it in yet, of course. The piece that I cut off and had that left over is this piece. And I'm using this to make a side pocket. This is going to be glued here, here, and here. So you've got the 3 sides, and it'll be a pocket here. So I'm going to punch out a little opening there. I use my circle punch and kind of eyeball the middle. And that'll be a pocket on this page here. For this one, and you can see the stitching on here too. I just put a little thing on here that says, "How lovely the silence of growing things." Cow milk. Like it would have been the lid of, it's bigger than normal, but it would be like the middle or on the glass bottle of milk to seal it up, and then just a little number tag. And that'll be glued on like this, and I'll be able to put maybe like a notebook or something bigger in there. So that is another thing that I did. And also with strips, I made one of those faux tickets thing with the strip where you fold it like this so that when you open it up, and I used on this one, this is some definitions from a dictionary: plant, cattle, horticulture, harvest, reap. It was actually from a thesaurus, so it has a lot of different words that mean the same thing. And I used some of those little milk cap type ephemera and some numbers. And I took a tool that I have that's an antique, where is that? Yeah. This is an antique tracing wheel. And after I inked it on the fold, and then I just kind of ran this over it, and it kind of made some indents, so that if you wanted to, you could rip it apart like a ticket. So that was just something that I did that is easy enough to figure out, that you don't need to see. But then you can craft with me for the rest of the things I'm going to do today. I said a pocket, a belly band, and a pocket that is a belly band. So I have an envelope here. This is a smaller one, and I'm going to glue this on. And it doesn't quite cover the whole thing, but that's okay because I'm going to be cutting part of this off anyway. So let me put the glue on the envelope. And this is going to be a side pocket envelope, and one of the tags that I was making is going to be for inside of here. I mean, kind of pick colors and things to match it up. So this is going to go on here. This corner will go onto this edge. I'll just kind of line that up. And I'm going to, whoops, turn this around. I'm going to cut that off with my cutter. So, first of all, I will put this under and cut it off even with the envelope. And I'm going to leave the envelope hole that way. And then I marked where I wanted to cut it off on here. So I'm going to line that up and cut that off. So now I've got a side pocket. And I'm not going to put a thumb latch in here because I put a tab on the tag that's going to go there. Okay, now with this one, this was left over from, it matches what's the tag base that's going in here. So I'm going to just kind of put this on as a little side tuck. Let's see if I can put that somewhere without knocking it down. So this is going to be just put on like a little bit. I hope I'm doing it on the right side. Yeah, good. And this is going to be just kind of centered on here. And I'm going to stitch along this edge, just with a straight stitch, to make sure that that stays on. And then that becomes a little tuck space for like this to go in. Okay, and this will be, the tag will go in there, and in fact this is the tag that I made for that in there. So that'll be going in like this, and this will be glued down onto the page. So it'll be a tag and a side tuck in the final thing. All right, so that one's done. I'll sew it later. And I'm going to make a belly band. So I'm going to need this back up here. My pages are 8.5. Oops, I have to open this up. I love this cutter. Never gets dull. All right, and I'm going to line this up with 8.5 over here because that's how long I need the belly band to be. Okay, and it's too wide, and I figured out what I'm going to put on. This is part of it. So I'm going to want to cut this just a little bit wider. Okay, I made a pencil mark right here. And then I'm going to line that pencil mark up and cut this like that. So now it's the size I need for my page. All right. So this, I had this. And actually I'm going to put it kind of even with the top like this. And because I want to put these yo-yos on it, and they don't go the whole way up to the top. I could have centered them, but then there's these holes like this. And I thought, well, I can just put something like this on. So I decided to glue that. And this is stuff that it's bias binding, but it's an iron-on one, so you can't like use it for ties and stuff like that, because if you tried to iron it, it would definitely stick together. This is made for that. So I'm going to do that. And then I was considering, what do I put on there? If I've got this on here, what do I put on there? Do I put a button? I tried a couple different things. Do I want that? Didn't like it so much. But I found this brad, and it has like a yellow flower on it. So I thought I would put that on there. And open it up. And then I'll put a little glue. Underneath it up here. A little Fabri-Tac. And push that up onto there so that it's held in place. I'm not going to cut this off yet because I'm going to let it overlap just a little bit at the top when I put this on. So now I'm going to put Fabri-Tac on here. Well, I put it on backwards, darn it. Wouldn't you know? Stick that through the other way. That's what I get for talking. Talking and not looking at what I'm doing. Because this part here should be on top. And this is really made to have the entire a ribbon woven through. Stick that there. Put this back in. There. Now that should work. Okay. Now I'll turn it over to where the glue has to go. And I'm going to leave these edges loose. I'm just going to put the glue down this edge where that other middle part is sewn on. I'm going to put that onto the cardstock. Oh, wait. I'm going to do the edges first with a little walnut stain. Everything in this book is, you know, I want it to kind of look like a little time-worn or that type of thing. Okay, so now I'm going to make this so it's just over the edge a little bit and center it on the cardstock. Hopefully I'm doing that. And then push it down. There. Now I can cut off the excess. Now when I cut, whoops, when I do this kind where I don't have the lace glued down on the edges, I usually put a little glue on the bottom and top so that it'll stay down. Okay. Get that so that that's attached. I leave it loose on the sides, but I do glue it down top and bottom. And now I'm going to be putting this string of yo-yos on here. And it just about fit perfectly right there. So again, I'm going to put glue down the middle. I'm using one of these Sugar Bell things, and when it was empty, I cleaned it out and I'm using it again, and for some reason it's not working the same. It's leaking out where the screw part, this part goes on. I don't know why, but I'm not sure. I got two when I bought them, and I'm going to use them, and I like the fact that I have the tip and I can just put a pin in the top, stainless steel pin. But I don't like that it's leaking out all over. So my opinion is still waiting for that one. Not sure. So there's my belly band. So now I've got those two things done. All right, now another belly band idea is to cut an envelope. This is one of the longer ones. This is about 9 inches long, so I'm going to end up cutting a little bit off on the ends, and then I'll have to glue the envelope shut again. But for starters, I'm just going to use this strip, and it's almost the perfect width, or about the perfect width for it. I think it's 2 inches. So I'm going to glue that onto here. Get some glue. I like the small tips. Like, that's one of the things with art glitter glue that makes it nice to use, is that you don't get so much, although I do have to loosen this up a little bit so it comes out a little bit better. Okay, and you can just put the glue where you want it. You don't use as much. I mean, art glitter glue lasts me a long time because I'm not over gluing with it. And that's why I wanted to try the Sugar Bell, icing things, so that I wouldn't have as much trouble with my my Fabri-Tac. But yeah, it's not working quite how I wanted it to. Although they were pretty cheap, so maybe if I threw it out every time, it might not be so bad. Now this one, I'm just gonna cut the end off like this. I'm not gonna worry about it being perfectly straight because I'm gonna cut it off after I'm ready. And this will be a side pocket here. I don't know what I'm gonna decorate it with yet, but that is going to get a tag made specially to fit in it, and it will also be a belly band so I can put something underneath it. So I think I might punch a hole in here again, kind of eyeball where the middle is about, and punch a little thumb tab, and then just kind of do this. So I'll be figuring out what to put on it. I know I'm going to do some kind of decorating with lace or something, but not quite sure what yet. I'll have to do the ends after I cut it off to the right size, which I'll do in a little while. Or it might be covered up. I don't know. So that will be, I will make a special tag for in there, and then it'll also be used as a belly band. So it'll only be attached at the top and the bottom, you know, up here and down here. So that is all I'm going to show you for today. Thank you for being with me and crafting with me. I hope you're learning a few things. You know, maybe you're getting some ideas for new pockets and tags and ways to put a journal together. So I'm really glad that you were here. Thank you for coming today. And I'll kind of put my things here and then I'll say goodbye. So far, this is what we made today for this tag and this. And we'll look at the next thing when I come back. I have a big mess on my desk. I'm just going to kind of go like this. See all my junk there? That's all the stuff that I have. I keep throwing all the extra stuff up there, but it works. So I will see you in the next video. This is Carol from Friendly Quail saying bye.